Ooh, I think Reese's taste better in the heart form.
Oh, like, for some reason, I agree with you. Every single Reese's peanut butter cup always tastes better when it's not in the cup form. Like,
you know what it is? What
form.
I think it is that it's like less chocolate and more peanut butter.
Yes, absolutely.
And the chocolate in the Reese's sucks.
It's
because it's just Hershey's, and that's not good chocolate, but the peanut butter is really good.
I wouldn't go as far as to say that I don't think the chocolate is good. I definitely think
nothing like Feastables.
Nothing like Feastables. I mean, can we talk about it?
Oh, we have.
No, I definitely think that the peanut butter is what makes the Reese's peanut butter cup special. I mean, it's a peanut butter cup. Exactly. The chocolate is the casing.
They don't call it the chocolate cup.
They don't. Because that would be stupid.
That'd be so fucking dumb. I love Valentine's Day. I love that time of year. I love love.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's like one of my favorite holidays.
That's nice. I think it's cool for other people.
That's fair. I mean,
you know what I mean? It's like me with like, I don't know, like alcoholism. Like, that's cool for other people. That's cool for other people. But for me, it's not really
talking about alcoholism like all day. Are you like saying something? The bottles up there are kind of empty.
Let's just say that I finished them up yesterday and this morning, getting ready for this pod. You know, I be going to rehearsal. Got my water bottle.
And they think it's water.
They think it's water.
And little do they know.
It's vodka.
You've outsmarted them.
It's straight vodka.
Yep, that's the best way to do it.
Nothing else in it. I come back from rehearsal. I'm like, fuck, I need a drink. I drink. Then I'm like, fuck, Forrest is coming tomorrow. So I drink some more. Yeah. Then I wake up.
It's fucked up you didn't even offer me any.
Shower. Well, it's because I want it all. I'm trying to, Forrest, you don't understand. I'm trying to become an alcoholic. I think that's the next step in my, like,
do you think it'll be funnier?
Career. No, I don't think I'll be funnier. But
I think alcoholism makes someone funnier.
I think
like,
that
genuinely, it's a fucked up opinion I hold.
I think that actors, they all go through like substance shit. So I'm trying to get a head start on it. You know what I mean? Okay. Trying to get it like out of the way. Like,
why alcohol instead of like other substances?
Well, because I want to save the fun stuff for later.
I mean, it's all functionally, it's all the same when you're addicted.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But like, I don't know.
Well, it's the same understanding of substance, you know what I mean? Like, you're still like, you're just going after the feeling of not sober.
Yeah, I think alcohol is just like the most like readily available. Like,
it is.
I'm sure. Like,
why don't you get into nicotine or anything?
Well, no.
You get a slight buzz. You know what's hilarious?
I don't get what does it do?
Okay,
what does it do?
What it does is make you feel bad when you don't have it.
Well,
that's the real secret sauce to nicotine.
Well, then why would I start
that's the real secret sauce. It's like you have it like some when you're drunk and you get like a little like buzz, right? Like it's just like a tiny little buzz. Your stress is relieved a little, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get addicted to nicotine and you feel bad when you don't have it. So you feel like it does a lot more than it actually does.
I see. So I should be staying away from nicotine, but alcoholism is like the avenue for me, I think.
Sure.
Because it's, it's right there. Yeah. I get super silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone likes it a lot more.
You know what? That's
you stop being so fucking annoying all the time.
That's true. Yeah, I think this Valentine's Day, it is the season for love. Love for alcohol for us.
And 2025 is the year of letting your inner child out and just having a little drink.
Yes, let that little...
Because you should give yourself grace, right? 2025 is the year of giving yourself grace for your alcoholism.
Truth.
That's what I think. Welcome back to the Obligatory Podcast. Have I already done one where I have a rose in my mouth? I strike that pose often, I think.
Yes, that was for the 100 questions.
That's what I thought.
Which, what a good episode.
Right?
I
was thinking about doing that again as like an update.
Yeah.
I don't know about that as a concept, but I was thinking about it for this one just to see, because I think our answers would be different.
I think our answers would be different. I think that would be an interesting one. Welcome back to the Obligatory Podcast. I think that would be an interesting one to like do like whenever this podcast is like ending to be like one of the last ones. So it's like
it's never gonna end though.
No, it'll go on forever and ever and ever. But hypothetically, if we do end, it would be like a good way to be like, this is how we felt about our lives at this point.
Does my hand look bony to you?
No, not really. Not like mine. Mine's like skeletal.
It's true. Dude, like, hands, there's lots of bones in there.
Dude, there are. Like, oh. Dude,
okay, but look at like, this is freaky, right?
The way that you're moving your hand right now?
The way that it's making my bones move.
I think it's kind of cool. At least the way that you're spinning that rose around.
Thanks. I'm very dexterous. Helps out on Valentine's Day.
That's very true.
Yeah. So this episode, obviously Valentine's Day.
Yep, it's the day that this is.
It's the day that we're filming this.
Yeah.
One of my favorite holidays. Truly, like I enjoyed a lot. I'm very at peace with this fact. This might be my first Valentine's Day that I've been single for since I was like 12.
Oh wow. Or
that I didn't have Valentine's for, at least.
Yeah, I've never had a Valentine's for Valentine's Day.
We have very opposite experiences with Valentine's Day, maybe.
Yeah, which I mean, nothing wrong with that, obviously. But up down. So I'm just trying to think.
It's important.
The video.
And like I think Valentine's Day is super fun because it's like it's stupid and like super capitalistic and like whatever.
Yeah.
But if you kind of just like let yourself enjoy the thing that's stupid, I think it's super sweet.
I agree. I like
hearts. I like hearts. I like the color pink a lot.
Oh, yeah, so second favorite color for me.
Yeah, so like those things definitely. I like flowers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I like chocolate.
I do like the idea of a day of like this is a day that you could like just show your love not only for like people that you're in a relationship with, but for people like close in your life. Like I remember last year I wrote little like letters to like a lot of my close friends here at VCU, and I gave it to them.
Not to me.
You were at CIA. I would have mailed you one.
I don't care.
I would have mailed you
I just said I don't care.
Oh, I don't care either. Then. Good.
Sorry, we shouldn't fight like this on the pod.
No, we'll save it for off the pod.
We've been having so many problems lately.
That's so true, dude. If only there was a place that we could go to get our stories out there and get like advice from incels.
I don't want to go to like a therapist.
No, that's too much money.
That's gay.
That is gay.
I don't fuck with the gays.
It's queer.
I don't fuck with the queers.
Strange. Parentheses strange.
Queer like faggy.
Oh. I don't know if I would agree with that.
And I don't like that.
I don't like that.
I'll tell you what I do like.
What do you like?
I like what the good, real people of the internet have to say. They've never once let me down.
You seem like someone who loves karma.
I like karma. You know what? Actually, I spent my whole life I've been chasing karma.
What kind of karma?
Shit, probably Reddit karma.
Exactly, Forrest. For today's episode, we're going to be going on Reddit. We've got some stories that we picked out, and we're just going to go through and give our earnest thoughts on people's relationships. You know, Reddit is a great place for people to like go to and like share their real and honest and definitely not made up stories on the internet to get advice from the people.
But what it's even better for is for people to give advice. You know, these we're talking very qualified people here. We're talking people who have definitely felt the touch of another person.
Yes, definitely.
They've definitely felt love towards them and in their souls.
Yes, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, and honestly, people who just know better.
That's true. Forrest, I see no reason why we can't
let's just hop right in.
I
think we'll switch off narrating here. You can take this first one.
Cool. We'll start off with a relatively simpler, shorter story. I 39 female, am failing to see the humor in this message my 46 male husband sent his friend.
Quotation marks.
What part of this seems like a simple joke? Okay, I'll get into the story now.
Okay.
I, 39 female, came home from work last night and my husband, 46 male, was passed out on the couch. His phone was open to a text message he sent his friend. Parentheses.
Sorry.
This is the message now.
Yeah.
Sent by the husband. I really didn't want to bother you by saying I'd sniff coke off your pussy. I thought that would be inappropriate, but I would. Let's do it. Parentheses, female's name. The coke thing. We both want to. Let's just see how it goes. When I confronted him, he told me it was just a joke, and I'm failing to see the lol, JK, Lamau. Maybe I just don't get it and need the joke explained? ? And that's it. That's the entire.
So
message.
She wants us to explain the joke.
Yeah. So you know, me and Forrest were professional funnies.
We are.
So basically, I think the joke is that this guy, her husband, wants to sniff cocaine off of his coworker's pussy.
Well, not really though.
No, not really, but like low key. Like,
okay. Here's what I think.
But he would though. But he's just joking.
Well, I mean, it's obvious that we can imply from this that the husband is some kind of surrealist, right? Like this is probably his chosen form of art style.
Yeah, he's
right?
very into absurdist humor.
And like just like you and I, right?
Yes.
This is just a work of absurdist humor. And so I assume that what he's doing here is he's saying something so absurd.
Yeah.
And he's actually making a commentary on pervy guys.
I mean, I can't even count how many times I've texted my female friends that I want to do cocaine off their pussy or smoke a joint out of their vagina. I mean, it's just jokes. I would.
I mean, of course. I mean, but that's just because you're like an open guy.
Well, that's just because, according to this guy, we both want to.
Yeah.
But like, it's just a joke.
I mean, for me, it's like, how many times do I have to explain to these broads that because I'm sending a dick pic, it's actually like a post irony thing that I'm trying to do. It's like, how ridiculous is it that people just send unwarranted dick pics all the time? You know what they should be doing? What? Not that.
Exactly. Now, like,
but like when I do it, I like my trick, right, to make sure everyone knows it's a joke is that I put it right next to a deck of cards.
Oh, I see.
Because it's a commentary on how sending a dick pic is always a gamble.
I like that. I don't know if I, want because I send a lot of dick pics out for.
Oh, I've seen.
Yeah, I've sent plenty. Sometimes I'm wearing the Woody hoodie. Sometimes it's like in the shower. Sometimes it's just like flopped.
Sometimes it's very soft.
Sometimes it is a
soft and small.
Sometimes it is a grape down there. But I don't know if I want like the girl that I'm sending the dick pic to associate my penis with something funny because like low key I would.
Oh, I mean, like high key though.
Like high key though, but
like for real though.
But like it is just a joke. But like
at the end of the day, like it's all like humor and shit.
Yeah.
But like for real though,
it's dark humor.
It's dark humor.
It's dark humor.
For you, it's dark humor.
So do we think he was joking?
I mean, I think we just explained why this is a joke.
Yeah.
I mean,
we explained the lull.
Here's the thing.
We explained the lull, the JK, and the lemon.
I just think that this joke could be done better.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I would say something along the lines of, I really did want to bother you by saying I'd sniff coke off your hoo-ha. Ha-ha.
Mm-hmm.
You see, that's like, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it would be inappropriate. Smiley face. That's what I put colon parenthesis.
Yeah, so she knows it's
and then separate message. But high key, low key, high key. I wouldn't mind though. And then I would say hashtag all fun and games until someone gets hurt. AKA, this is all one word.
Yeah.
AKA overdoses. And like that's for me, like that would be like the way to improve that joke. What about you?
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with you that the wording of the word pussy is definitely like it's way too strong.
Yeah.
Like I think what I would do is I would no, I'm not doing that joke.
No, I think it's time.
No, I would just see, I'm really into like dry deadpan humor, so
of
I would
course, yeah.
First off, I wouldn't text this to her. I would go right up
Show her the bag of coke.
I'd go right up to the I mean, excuse my French, but the lady, the shoddy, the dame in person, and without a hint of sarcasm or joy in my face, I go, I want to do coke off your pussy. Then I would go, I know this is inappropriate. No smiling.
No, obviously.
I know this is inappropriate, but I want to. Let's do it. We both want to. Let's just see how it goes. And then I'd get the whole entire office laughing.
Okay. Personally, I've thought about this, right?
Yeah.
Here's my improvement on that form of deadpan is I get up in a Zoom call.
Okay.
Right? Me, her, we're in a breakout room.
Yeah.
But low key, everybody else has mod privileges. She has no idea.
You dirty dog.
She has no idea. Everyone else has mod privileges, right? So they're watching.
Yeah.
They're watching, right? Yeah. And so we're in this Zoom call. We're in the office. We're in the Zoom call.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, Brittany.
Yeah, that's her name.
I just want you to know. I would 100% snort this coke, and then I pull it up.
Yeah.
Big like 5 pounds of coke.
Yeah, and it's not sugar, it's not flour, it is cocaine.
It's coke. Well, okay, here's what I do to prove that it's real. I say I snort this coke like this.
Yeah.
I do a line of coke.
Yeah.
Right, in the office in the Zoom call.
Awesome.
And then I'm like, but off of your pussy.
Yes. Oh, that's romantic.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'd be like, I know that sounds like very serious because it's very romantic, but like it's all just fun and games. But I also know we'd both want to.
Yeah.
And then I assume Brittany would say something like,
yeah,
fuck yeah, get over here, you absolute hunk of a man. At which point I would stay on Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I stay on Zoom, but since we're all in the office, I go over to her office.
Yeah.
Right. And
You guys are all on Zoom at the office?
Yeah, we're in the office in Zoom.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Cool.
And this is where everyone else having mod privileges comes in, right? Because I make sure her camera's on, so everyone gets to see.
Oh, you smoking the cocaine on her pussy,
dude! Right?
Yeah. So I don't know who originally posted this, but I hope that answers your question of what the LOL, the JK, and the LMAO
Yeah, but seriously though, this guy's like a treasure, so keep him.
Yeah, you are the asshole in this situation for even confronting him, and not even seeing the comedy of it. Yeah, I have to go to the Obligatory Podcast Reddit profile.
We have a Reddit profile?
I had to do it in order to...
Oh, we have one karma?
You get a karma for making an account.
Yeah, we do. We should start posting to r/podcasts.
Let's see. Which one's screaming out to you?
Let's jump right into the friendship dilemma at 40 and 48.
All right, cool. So yeah, you're gonna read this one out.
The friendship dilemma: 40 male, 46 female. Hey everyone, I have a question. Has anyone ever successfully found a way to make yourself stop having feelings for someone? I, 40M, have a friend I've known for 10 years that we'll call Amanda.
Wow.
46F. I'm sure that's her real name. Amanda and I have been good friends, and now we're neighbors, both single. Sounds great, except that I know Amanda and I aren't actually a good fit in any other way but being friends. I really don't want to risk the friendship by pursuing anything, especially since I'm fairly sure the feelings are only on my side of the fence. She dates, and I've been feeling jealous and hurt by having to stand on the sidelines. We hooked up a few times years ago, but those days are long gone. Has anyone ever had luck in finding a way to change their feelings once they caught some? Putting distance between us just isn't realistic since we have a lot of mutual friends and live right next to each other. I do not want to talk to her about this. I want to change how I feel and keep the status quo. Any suggestions, advice, or recounting of similar experiences as well is appreciated. TLDR, I want to stop having feelings for my friends. I feel like I really got in character there.
You did. I really felt like the patheticness of the character typing this out.
Yeah.
I don't think you can not talk to her, have it change, and keep the status quo. You can't have.
I know, right? They pick a fucking struggle, dude.
You could. It's a real like you take two, leave one. You can talk to her about this and have it change how you feel, but like change the status quo. You could talk to her about it; it'll change the status quo. Well, I guess it might also change how you feel, or it might not.
I think that nothing changes if you don't talk.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I've definitely been in like I guess a situation like this where like I think a lot of people have where you like someone and it's like. You know it's not gonna go anywhere.
I think it's pretty natural to catch feelings for friends as well. I mean, friendship is like a rock's throw away from like a relationship, especially if you're like super close friends, right?
Yes.
So and they're neighbors, dude. That would be messy. How are they like best friends and neighbors? Maybe not best friends, but you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, they've been friends for 10 years, so maybe they just found like.
Yeah, or maybe they became or they were neighbors and then they got friends. It's interesting that they hooked up though.
It is, yeah. I was just about to bring that up. I think not that you never know like how someone else feels because obviously there are indicators on how someone could feel, but like,
and you don't.
You really don't.
Yeah.
So and I think like. I guess I don't know. I'm not someone who hooks up without like having feelings for the other person. But in my mind, I think if you're able to hook up at least the way this guy describes himself, like I feel like she might be able to hook up and have feelings for him. Like I think there is proof that she could have feelings.
But this guy's also clearly pathetic. So maybe she was like when she was hooking up with him, maybe she was like in a place.
Yeah, I mean they've been.
And she said those days are long gone.
Well, yeah,
Amanda sounds out of his league.
They've been friends for 10 years. So I guess at like a certain point, like there was at least a mutual desire to like get down with each other.
I think that's normal.
And
I think that not a lot of friendships, but like a good amount of friendships, like a good friendship could definitely survive like a hookup or two and then go back.
No, I think that's true. But it's like the thing that he's asking is how does he lose those feelings? Because like with this guy specifically, he had those feelings and they hooked up. And
did he at the time have those feelings? It's not clear.
I guess not. But I wouldn't expect like him to not have feelings. Well, I guess he could have not had feelings. They had sex, and then
he could have gained feelings. That's my understanding of it.
I was going into this thinking that it was like the classic, like he's had feelings this entire time. Yeah. He got his one.
Well, I feel like he would have like tried harder.
It makes.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like if you were to have feelings with someone and then you hook up like a few times, you'd probably like you would have posted this sooner. Yeah,
I guess if this is they had sex and then he had feelings and didn't say anything. Well, I guess no. My advice in either scenario, if he had feelings the entire time or if he gained feelings after what happened, is to talk to her, because that's the only way that things are good. Because like, unfortunately, like feelings for a person don't just like disappear. Yeah. At least I don't think. Like I'm very much a person that like I could not talk to you for like years and years. Yeah. And then we meet back up and I'm like, wow, this person is fucking goated.
They might like shift a little, but I don't think that they like fully disappear.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I also think that here's the move, right? I'm in this guy's scenario. Here's what I do.
Go ahead.
I buy a bunch of tea candles from Michael's.
Yes, you do.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Are you getting it so far?
I'm picking up
a bunch of tea candles from Michael's.
I'm smelling what you're cooking.
I make sure it's winter. I'm catching
what you're throwing.
I make sure it's winter, right?
Yeah.
Because tea candles aren't so.
Gotcha.
And I go out to her yard. I spell out, I love you.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
I love you, Amanda. One day we will be together. And this is proof of our love.
All in tea candles.
All in tea candles. I leave it out there until she sees it.
You accidentally cause a forest fire.
Well, it is winter, so climate's a little dry. But I have a backup plan.
Okay.
Because don't you worry.
I'm not worried.
She comes up to me. She's like, Forrest, you asshole. You lit a fire in my yard. All right, here's what I do, okay? Yeah. I grab her by the chin.
You grab her every
No, I like sweetly.
No, you grab
I grab her by the chin and I like caress her. I caress her a little bit and I'm like, no, baby girl. The fire was how hot I burned for you.
And she goes, oh my God, let's have sex again.
Yeah, I assume that that's what she would do.
Yeah.
At which point, I'm in there. And then Pound Town for sure. And I mean, after you get a vacation to Pound Town, I mean, you want to live there forever.
You got it. You're buying a bungalow so you can stay there.
Yeah,
and you're sniffing coke out of her vagina.
Well, I do get her on Zoom.
Nah, that's really good that you do that. Here's what I do.
Okay.
Nothing. if I was this guy, I would I'm telling listen, coaches don't play. Coaches don't play. Yeah. I'm telling this guy you should talk to her because then you're gonna keep living your life next to this person that you really like, doesn't feel the same way about you, and you'll go to either resent her or yourself or both, and it will not be healthy. Yeah. Me, I'm not doing that. Even if someone tells me, hey, you need to talk to her.
Me personally, okay, real Forrest would just go up and talk to her.
Real George would also
This is what real Forrest would do. Through tea candles. I just think it's so romantic.
Yeah, I mean the idea of a walking out of my.
And then if she says no, I mean at that point I start getting her a bouquet of flowers every day.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't stop.
But I never stop. Teach young men persistence. Right. So I buy her. I'm not doing anything harmful or wrong. Look, I buy her a bouquet of flowers every day. Eventually she runs out of space. Right. She needs a place to move into because too many flowers in her home. Yep. That's where I come in. I'm her neighbor, friendly neighbor. She doesn't know it's for me, right? Friendly neighborhood Forrest over here.
Yep.
Oh, your house is too full of flowers. You can come stay with me. No problem. Then, once I get her in there, I lock the door behind me.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Look her in the eye. I go, I've been sending the flowers this whole time. At which point, I mean, the implications take care of themselves.
Yeah, real George would just
do the same thing.
I would have a sit down conversation with her and explain my feelings in a delicate way.
There's a medium chance that I would frantically call her.
That's fair. I can see that happening. I wouldn't do that, but
I wouldn't do that either.
Yeah, this was posted 8 hours ago, so hopefully someone.
Is there one comment?
No, that's
or is it just like a Reddit bot?
It might just be a Reddit bot. The friendship dilemma, one comment.
Automod.
Yeah, Automod. Boo. Let's go on to how the hell do I, 34 female, recover from my husband, 35 male, attacking my appearance during an ugly argument?
Yikes. Probably lose that weight.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in me today.
Winter is here, and my husband and I are having serious disagreements about the thermostat. I like to keep the house warm. around 75 degrees
I'm on
Fahrenheit.
his side. I'm on his side. I don't even care. I'm on his side.
Because I get cold really easily. He works from home and says it's too suffocating for him. Even at 72 degrees Fahrenheit, he's always hot and insists he can't focus on his work if the heat is blasting. I get that, but our space heater broke last week. And his solution? Telling me to wear a sweater or a jacket in our own house. She capitalized it.
I know, I saw.
I'll skip the edits for now. I refused because, honestly, I should be comfortable in my own home. Obviously, he should not feel comfortable in his home, because what the fuck. I asked him to open windows. We've been going back and forth for over a week.
Why would you have the heater on if you open windows? Okay, sorry. It's too early.
Every time I turn up the thermostat, he turns it back down. Yesterday, things escalated. I walked into the living room to find that he'd put a digital lock on the thermostat. I couldn't believe he'd gone that far without talking to me first. Mm-hmm. When I confronted him, we got into a huge fight. I told him he was being selfish and controlling and that I'm tired of being cold all the time. He shot back that I just need to suck it up. Then he said something I can't get out of my head. He told me, fat bodies are supposed to keep warm better. So why are you always complaining about the cold? Forrest, get back on camera so you can show your facial expression to the audience.
My mouth is fucking opened. Who says that? There's just other ways.
Fat bodies are supposed to keep you warm. I felt my heart break. He chose to attack self-esteem where it would hurt the most, even though he knows how conscious I am of my weight. FYI, I had our daughter just a few months ago and haven't bounced back. I was never really Model-esque, but was okay looking. I feel huge because I am huge. Oh. I have confided in him, and he has always reassured me and confronted me, only to turn back on me and be extra cruel. It was honestly so unnecessarily cruel. Okay, well, you don't have to repeat like sentences.
This sounds cruel.
This is cruel. I was so hurt over his comment. I asked him why he'd say something like that to his wife, but I wasn't prepared for what he said next. You'd be a lot easier to swallow if you were at least physically attractive, but when you're ugly inside and outside, I don't even want to be gentle with you.
Dude, that's how
wait. Feel free to take this personally. I think you were gonna say
it won't be easy for her to swallow anymore. You keep going.
I think he crossed a major line with that comment. But was I being too sensitive? I've been crying thinking about this. I feel devastated. Can I just say?
Wow.
Can I just say? Sometimes you have a good one. Sometimes you have a good one and people aren't able to take it. That's what I got from the first story.
Okay. I have two things to say here.
Yes.
The first half of the story, I hated her. The second half of the story,
dear God, get her out of there.
Yeah, okay, but mostly this thermostat thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the real meat and potatoes of.
Are they aware that thermostats typically have scheduled settings that you can do? Because seriously, this guy works at home. It's implied that she doesn't, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, maybe she's on maternal leave. I'm going with this. Yeah. It's implied that she doesn't work from home, which means that maybe during the day you get 72 degrees, and then when she's home you get 75.
Well, no, she wants it. Oh yeah, she does want to set up. So
yeah, I know. But I remember that number because it's fucking insane.
Yes. Well, she did do two edits for this. Edit number one: the reason why I don't want to wear a sweater is because I am breastfeeding my baby, and it would just make things tough. Plus, I am always leaking, and it gets really messy. I prefer wearing a vest or just go topless with a light robe around my house. That's completely fair.
Yeah.
Edit two:
it's like his braless wife is bringing him a sandwich after he won a Fortnite game.
Edit two: I know 75 Fahrenheit sounds insane to some, but our heating system is very inefficient, and our bedroom especially, where I spend most of my time nursing our baby, doesn't heat up at all. So when I say 75 Fahrenheit, I really mean 69 to 70. I know I should have brought a space heater. I know I should have bought a space heater, but I had asked my husband to buy it for me because I've got a lot on my plate. I am tired all the time, and anytime I'm not breastfeeding, I literally feel like fainting. He has been putting it off for some time now and makes lame excuses like we ran out of Prime. Why does it say that he's making the excuse that he ran out of Prime, the hydration
Well, it's
drink?
really important to prioritize what you're buying, right? And that's so true. You want to make sure that you're up on Prime.
That's true. Or I
assume that's what they're breastfeeding the baby.
Yeah, when she says, she's like, oh, I'm fainting because I have no more Prime to give my baby. To get my little baby
your own breast milk.
Or we should add more to the cart to qualify for free shipping. I'll order it right away. I don't need him for this. He was also supposed to get our heating systems checked before winter fell, but clearly he didn't do that. yeah, this lady's a maniac for having her apartment at 75 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, this is something that I feel personally very strongly about.
Yeah.
Because in my apartment, you know, you guys have met Caleb before.
Love that guy.
Lovely guy. I mean, charisma out the wazoo. The camera died, but that's okay.
Okay.
Camera out the wazoo. Charisma out the wazoo. But Caleb keeps this apartment, like his ideal is like a calm law 58 degrees.
Yeah.
It is like, you can't see it anymore, but I'm in a button up. My nips are hard. I'm so fucking cold all of the time.
Yeah, I mean, here's what I'll say on that, though. Like, for real, though, here's what I'll say on that.
Yeah.
Is that, look, I mean, I keep my apartment cold, too. I prefer it that way. That's a me thing. And I think that that's one of the things I like about living alone is that I get to have entire control of what temperature it is.
Yeah.
One of the things I could not stand growing up was that I felt like my family wanted my house to be extremely hot. No, my house. Our house to be extremely hot all the time. And it was like unbearable for me to be in. Mm-hmm. So like to a certain extent, I empathize with this guy being like, it's really hard to work and focus. This is true. Like when you get overheated, like, you know, your skin starts to crawl. It's like itchy. You're sweaty. Yeah. It does become hard to focus, especially
if you're working.
And, you know, he's hard at work, much harder working than she is. And
I mean, what? She pushed a baby out of her vagina and she's like, what, like chilling at home now? Like,
I know.
What's going on with her?
She's lucky, too, because that means that that's like actually scientifically the best time to be snorting coke out of it.
That's true. The placenta's gone, so there's more space in there.
Yale just posted a new research paper on it.
Yes, can we actually get that on screen right now? Thank you so much.
So, I mean, obviously, like, there's that aspect of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is actually a very similar situation because I actually confronted Caleb about this a couple months ago. I was like,
Caleb, he slapped you in the face, called you ugly.
I was like, Caleb, it's way too cold. Like he's like, oh, put on a jacket. And I'm like, no, I won't do that. And he was like, you skinny bodies are supposed to be warm. And I was like, whoa, dude, what the hell? But, you know, we talked about it. It's all good. But this guy, I mean.
I think that, like, okay. I do believe in just putting on like a sweater or something. This is a different scenario, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, it's okay to wear a sweater in your own house.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's so goddamn cold in here.
Well, I like it.
Why?
It's like you're like cozied up. I like everything being cold and then like becoming warm. That's awesome for me.
I do
it's very cozy.
Going like it is wintertime out like when we're recording when this episode is going up. And like going from like outdoors in the cold to like indoors and being like nice and like snug.
Or, you know, like when it's like really cold out and then there's like a fire.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's very nice.
Yeah.
What's not very nice is when you're spitting fire at your wife, aka roasting her hardcore, roasting a toasted mate.
Oh, that's what the baby was probably like when he said that. She went, oh.
The baby was probably
you
like
got him, Dad.
Yeah. Baby's on the father's side, obviously.
And especially to double down when your wife comes to you being like, why did you say that? And him going like, you're fucking ugly inside and out. I don't want to be gentle with you. And then adding on, hey, please take this personally.
Yeah, like, okay. It's very commonly known that like you hold a little bit of baby weight.
Yeah.
And there's also nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like you just had a baby, you know?
Yeah.
Take a break.
Please.
Gain some weight. It's good. Like it's okay.
Good. It's good for you. Your body does that for a reason.
Yeah. This guy being like, oh, you're just fat and ugly is so unhinged of him. And then also to double down and like, it's not like your like friend or someone that you can really get away with. It's like your wife who you live with and have a child with to be like, yeah, and take that personally. It's like, showing some serious levels of delusion.
Yeah, especially this comment is speaking to me. He, instead of buying a new space heater for his wife who's nursing his baby, he bought a digital lock to put on the thermostat.
I was just about to say that.
Those are extra steps.
The digital lock is crazy because, like, okay, there's like a little bit of charm to having like a silent fight over something. Like, a few degrees. You know, you're like, every single time I come back, it's like 70 degrees instead of 72 or something. You know, like not a big change. There's no charm to like not talking about it that much and then just like taking control of the situation. Especially when they could just get a new space heater.
Yeah, it's like
it doesn't seem like there's any like money reasons not to. Like,
well, clearly they have to have enough money for their prime.
Well, okay, yeah, that's the other thing I do really respect though is like making sure that your baby is well primed up.
Yeah,
because I think not enough children are having prime. I mean, I know lunch lace is out, right, and that's obviously helping the cause. Yeah. But not enough children are having prime these days.
No, not enough. So like this guy, he is doing his part. We talked about it in the episode last week, but like doing your part is very important. Yep. And by doing that. The way that this guy's doing it is by buying prime and calling his wife fat.
Yeah, which is honestly probably something that Logan Paul, KSI, and Mr. Beast would be in like supportive.
Yeah, they would love that.
They like putting your foot down.
Yeah. So, what advice would I give to this lady? I don't think there's any coming back from this.
Personally, if I was her, I would start drinking some prime, maybe working out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Putting on a jacket.
Putting on a jacket. Making sure she does her motherly duties and not much more,
Yeah. Amen. Okay, Forrest. Here, you'll read this next one.
All right, yeah, no problem. My 46F. Oh, this person's boyfriend. She is 46 female. Boyfriend is 48 male. Is obsessed with a lantern he found at a flea market, and it's getting weird. How do I approach this?
Okay, so already off the bat, I can tell that this is a guy who loves the bit, loves the game, and will commit.
Worried about a little weird. I'm worried about that. Hello.
Hi.
So my boyfriend, 28 male, and I, 26 female, recently went to a flea market. He found this old-style lantern that he absolutely fell in love with. He bought it on the spot. And I thought it was a cute little vintage decoration for our apartment, but now things have taken a strange turn. Ever since he got the lantern, he's become super attached to it. He keeps it by his bedside, even gets up in the middle of the night to walk around the apartment with it, pretending to be an old-timey watchman. He'll say things like, "All is well," or "The night is dark and full of terrors." And he gets really into character. At first, I thought it was kind of funny and endearing as he has an eccentric style of humor, but now it's starting to annoy me. He does this almost every night, and it's disturbing our sleep. I've been trying to talk to him about it, but he keeps telling me that he takes his watchman duties very seriously, and it's important for our safety. The issue is I genuinely cannot tell if he's joking. Has anyone else experienced something like this? How do I get him to tone it down without hurting his feelings or making him feel like he can't enjoy his quirky interests? Thanks for advice. Thanks for any advice. All right, here's what I think.
Well, first I have a personal thing to share about this. Recently, I was talking with a friend about what each other's biggest red flags is. Yeah. And she said that very often I take a bit and go too far with it. AKA, I beat a horse so senselessly dead that... this is me paraphrasing what she said. Beating a horse so senselessly, like, badly that it's just a pool of blood and, like, meat hunks. And immediately, like, at first I was like, yeah, okay. Immediately after we went to Kroger, I saw the Feastables. I tended to be, like, really interested and dumped a bunch of it into my cart. And I looked at her.
That's a classic Forrest bit.
I looked up and I was like, and then she looked at me and she went, "This is exactly what I'm talking about, because I do that every time we go to Kroger."
Okay.
Is that not baller?
Okay. I'm the wrong guy to be talking to about this.
You are the right guy to be talking
Here's
about
what I think.
Because you'll agree with me.
I think that you take a bit just far enough.
Thank you.
I think that you take bits just far enough, because you wouldn't do this shit every night.
No, not every night.
No. You do this like once or twice.
Yeah.
And then maybe like once a month.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, because that's the way to approach this, right? This guy is beating a horse so senselessly that it is nothing but a pool of blood and ground meat, maybe to make burgers with.
Yes.
But you, George, if you were the boyfriend in this scenario,
yes,
you would take a bit just far enough. And that's something I appreciate about you, is you being able to commit to something without taking it too far. Although I do think one of your greatest faux pas was how long you were doing the blue eyes bit.
Yes, that is the biggest outlier in the situation.
I think that was different. Like, you might have felt like you had to.
Yeah, people around, like, people would come up to me and tell me that they overheard people having a conversation about my blue eye bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that type of shit, like, it goes to my head. It goes to my head.
No, it goes to your head, but also it gets to you to where you're like, well, I kind of want to stop, but I really can't.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a real thing. I've experienced similar things.
Yeah, I think, I'm sure this is also true about you, but we've talked about like our styles of comedy and how I'm a lot more like extended bit oriented than you are. Like you love your little like one-off like things that you do. Something that I really enjoy, and something that I'm talking about in my sketch comedy class is like taking a joke and exploring it in a bunch of different avenues. Like that's what a sketch is. A sketch is comedy concentrate, where it's one joke explored as many ways as you can think of. Yeah. That's what I strive to do, at least when it comes to like bits and jokes similar to what this guy is doing.
The issue is that this guy is just doing the same thing as well, right? Like if you did this for a week, you could do a different thing with the lantern every time. And that could be something cool. That could be maybe funny. Also, I think there's a line that must be stated when the bit starts to affect like someone's sleep.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Or like your health, that's not good. Okay, here's what I think. This guy's either not as funny as he thinks he is.
Definitely not.
Or quite literally in like a manic episode and needs professional help, where he genuinely believes that he needs to do this for safety.
Like it's like an OCD thing?
Like a schizophrenia, like manic episode, like believing things that aren't real. Maybe I guess an OCD thing. Not really, but I mean like a bipolar thing.
I could see it as being a bipolar thing. I think when you were describing it, I thought of it as like this could be like his like nightly ritual that he does. Right, yeah. One thing that like
she doesn't describe it as that though.
No, assuming that this is not that. Yeah, assuming that this is not that. What is standing out to me, just going back onto like bits, is that this is like it's important to make jokes for yourself, but this is like a bit that he's doing entirely.
Someone else needs to enjoy
for himself. Someone else needs to enjoy the bit. And this guy is like going off in the middle of the night to do this bit kind of just for himself, which may lend itself to like the schizophrenia.
That's what I'm talking about, mania.
Yeah. It's definitely, and it's like, I think one thing that I'm good at, I mean, we've talked about it on the pod, is like recognizing like, okay, it's going too far right now. I'm going to shelve it for like a good long while, maybe forever.
And then you bring it back later, maybe.
You could bring it back later for like a surprise,
a one-off.
Yeah, but like this guy is very clearly going through, like he's definitely attaching himself to something seemingly out of the blue. There could be an explanation for it.
I mean, I fuck with a good lantern too, right? Like that's the other side of this.
Yeah,
it's like there's nothing wrong with a good lantern. In fact, there's so many things right about it.
You know what it is? He picked it's a very good prop. Like I was reading the story and I was like, God, I could do so much with this.
I was thinking the same thing when I was reading it out
loud. All right, this is a very eye-catching title. 28 female. Did this post get deleted? I think this post got deleted, Forrest.
Oh, but you have it. Whoa.
No, that's not it.
Oh.
What happened with this? Why did this? I was literally reading this earlier today. Why are they all deleted?
Maybe it was it too controversial?
No, I don't think so.
Was it about DEI?
No, it was like this guy's this like girl's husband was telling like his coworkers that he was flirting with, that like the woman in his like pictures was his sister.
Oh,
and she didn't know like how to confront it. But no, this was 6 months ago. I was reading it earlier today, and all the comments are also deleted. Is this happening with other posts?
This is the problem with Reddit. Too much censorship.
Dude, I know, right? I mean, can you talk about it?
People don't just post anything they want to Reddit anymore. It's not like this Wild West, one of the few ones left on the internet or anything like that. It's totally just censorship to the max, and I can't stand it. Reddit is one of the very few left-leaning social platforms left, and that I hate saying that.
Thank you.
I hate saying that, but you know what I hate most about that? It means that the left's gotten to it. The fucking libtards censoring us.
Thank you for stalling for us. I finally got a different Reddit post up.
No problem.
Why does partner 39 male never compliment me 36 female? A very subtle but understandable problem. We've had a lot of pretty wacky ones. Let's just get this one. My boyfriend and I are together 11 months now, and I feel totally at home and I'm in love with him. However, he's a total introvert, and I'm trying to get used to him being that way. But the biggest challenge is him never complimenting me. I spoke to him about it, but he just said that he doesn't think of it. I'm not vain, and my love language is not words of affirmation. He does show me his love in other ways, but I miss being complimented. Want to feel desired by and sexy for him. Do any of you women have experiences with such men, or any of you men understanding why this is? TLDR, don't get compliments, but need to feel appreciated / sexy for partner. This is a very, I think this is a very understandable, classic, relationship dilemma.
Yeah.
It's two people whose love languages, or I'm not so sure this is what that is specifically, but like two people who have very different styles of showing affection, not knowing how to like give it to other people.
Yeah.
And love languages, me and Forrest have talked about it in length before.
We have.
Off the pod. But it's something that I feel very strongly about because like I think, well, for one, the original love languages that were presented and defined by someone whose name I'm forgetting now, his name is on the screen, was not created by someone who has any backing in psychology and was just kind of like
totally made up
observations. Like they were observations from other people, but like it was made up, and he created those love languages for white, straight Christian couples only. Yes. He was very much like into
and he thought that those were like the relationship, like the best way to have a relationship is for it to be white, Christian, and straight.
Yes, and those are the like he went on further to say that he's like he thinks that's where real love occurs. Yeah. Like he doesn't think real love can occur in other
so not like the coolest guy you've ever met.
Yeah, and another problem that I have is that I think in my opinion, there's a lot of misunderstanding about like what love languages are and how they present themselves in a relationship. Because people think like they just do the love language that they want to the other person, and if they don't like accept it or if it doesn't make them feel loved, then it's
like they have their love languages that they prefer. Therefore, that's the only way that they know or prefer how to show affection. Yeah. So they're like, well, my partner knows that this is my love language. They're like, so it's going to be like just as impactful as just as impactful as using theirs.
Yeah, which I mean, I disagree with. I mean, I think it's not only are there far more love languages than like the standard like 5 that you hear about, you know, like physical touch.
Yeah, like those are definitely real and kind of vague enough to capture most other things.
Yeah. But it's so much more nuanced than that, obviously. Yeah. And also, I think that people have a love language that they show and a love language that they receive. Uh-huh. And it seems to me like this person who's typing this, I'm just taking what I think this person is saying. Yeah. I think they're viewing love language as like you have your one. Obviously, you have a lot of like other ones as well.
You'll have your main.
Like, she's thinking that you have your main one.
You got your main, and then you got the one that you snort the coke off of. Right? That's how I do it.
Yeah, but I definitely think like obviously people love. Not obviously people love, because a lot of people, they get words of affirmation and it like kind of like makes them feel weird, you know, like very imposter syndrome and whatnot. But this is someone who like, although she shows love one way.
Everybody wants a compliment every now and again.
Of course. Love language is something that she does definitely, not love language, words of affirmation is definitely something that she feels like she needs in order to feel confident in the relationship that he had, which is obviously very understandable. Uh-huh. Yeah, so I think the thing that I'm hearing from this is that she went to him with a need, and the husband, for whatever reason of his own, kind of dismissed it a little bit. Because
it's not a husband. Okay, it's a partner of 11 months.
Partner. Sorry,
so they're like, my fault. This is like totally new. Like as far as this goes, this is like a totally reasonable time for this to be happening. Yeah. I feel like 11 months in is like not that far in.
Yeah. But in any case, I still think it's understandable to like go to your partner with a problem of like not feeling appreciated in this way. Obviously, like you can't be upset at the husband for not doing this because that's not how he shows love naturally. But like being told like this is how I feel love, it's up to you, I think, to make an effort to like show them the love that they feel that they need.
Right. Oh, he said he doesn't think of it.
He said he doesn't think of it, which is fair. There's nothing wrong with.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, but it's like in order for a relationship to like
you need to consider your partner.
You can't just go in and like do like you can't just go in and do the Jacob. You know? Yeah. And doing the Jacob is like giving her like a hug and like a kiss on the forehead. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta do the Stacy. You know, the Stacy, she loves to tell Gary that hey, you guys look really beautiful, or hey, you know, you look really sexy today. Yeah. It seems like that would go a long way in this relationship.
Any dog whistle at her?
Wolf whistle?
That's what it is. Yeah, that always works for me.
That's the Forrest love language.
Yeah.
Getting wolf whistle.
No, wolf whistling at people.
Oh, I see. I see.
That's how I show people I love them.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way to go about it is just ask him, like, please, can you please do that?
I think it's follow up. You know what I mean? It's like follow up.
Like, have you been thinking about this?
Or be like, does she compliment him?
That's fair.
Right? Like, is it a
two-way street?
Is it something where he's not thinking about it because it's something that, like, he doesn't necessarily care for and also isn't really happening to him? So it's like just not in the nature of their relationship right now. Like, it's just like not in their dynamic, which is not to say that it shouldn't be, or like he shouldn't also be considering it. But it's like, there could be exterior reasons as to why it wouldn't be happening. That is more complicated than just, well, he should. Yeah, because he should, but also he needs to learn to, right?
Yeah, I don't agree with the sentiment of, like, I think there's a big thing on TikTok a while ago that was like, if he wanted to, he would. And I don't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the ethos of it.
Yeah.
It's like largely if people wanted to do, also I think the things that people were referencing for that a lot of time were like asking you out. Stuff like that. Well, that's what I saw. What
I saw was like mostly like, oh, if you wanted to buy you flowers, he would. Like that was like the big thing.
Right.
But it's like, again, people are wired differently. People, that's not the way that they show their love.
And like some people are really good at buying flowers, right?
Yeah.
Like I like buying flowers for people, but that's not like a thing that everybody thinks to do.
Yeah.
And you just have to learn, like, Yeah. I'm what people would refer to as a boyfriend that got trained.
Okay.
No, like seriously, that's like a thing.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Like you learn.
Being a boyfriend is like a skill that like most people like need to grow on. Like that's something that I know I need to grow on because I'm not good at being a boyfriend. I don't think. Like I don't know like this. I don't have the natural instinct to just like do things.
Yeah.
Like I do like the George. I make people feel great by being George, but sometimes being George isn't what they need in that moment.
Needs like a little something else.
Sometimes you need
the expectation is for you to be George and then also a sprinkle of boyfriend on top.
Yes.
I think that's what from what I understand in relationships, which are confusing to me.
Yeah.
Most of the time people want you to be you and then like a little sprinkle of like something.
Yeah.
So that they get the only you know what I mean? It's like a little something special, extra secret spice just for that person.
A little bit of cayenne.
Yeah, a little bit, that's the secret. A little bit of cayenne, a little bit of garlic powder.
I also don't think there's anything wrong with like going up to someone and just asking for a compliment or asking to be held or asking like letting your needs be known.
I do understand that like asking someone to compliment you makes it harder. Like it feels weird, especially like complimenting as like a need. I think feels weirder than coming up to someone and being like, can you give me a hug? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for me, that's in like a different, it's like more awkward.
Yeah.
And then I think also people get in their heads about like, oh, well, if I'm asking for a compliment, well, it's not real. But that's like not how that works.
Yeah.
Because they're still giving you, like, I'm going to make an assumption that your partner is not lying to you.
Yeah.
Because that would be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just a little, I chose this one because I just wanted to talk about love languages in this episode. Yeah, which one are you feeling? Or we can go for my husband accused me of murder out of the blue, but this one's a long one. Or we can go for a shorter one.
Everyone knows I have a history with people who murder.
That's true.
My 30F husband and 30. I'm 30. Okay, I hate reading these.
I hate how they do the
my 30 female and husband 33 male accused me of murder out of the blue. How do I salvage this? This is a long and ridiculous story. Sorry. My husband, 30 whatever. My husband, Luke, 33 male, had a sister, Laura, who was 29. We were all like, why is it important to know her age?
I just
people on Reddit just fucking
the creeps, man.
Confuse the shit out of me. Okay. We were all close and saw each other 2 to 3 times a month, along with their parents. Almost 6 months ago, Laura fell down the stairs at their family home and died. It was a freak accident, and there's a window on the half landing, and she hit her head on the sill. Holy shit. I was the last person to see her, and I was there for less than 10 minutes. She was in her pajamas, making coffee, and didn't even stay for a drink. And I struggle with how... Wow, this is fucking crazy. Sorry. And I struggle with how such a brief and meaningless interaction could have been her last. She deserves so much more. My husband and I have only been married for a year, but we've been together for 4 and have known each other for 20 plus. When Laura's parents found her, they called my husband straight away and we rushed over. We faced the whole thing as a family, and the days after, Luke started quizzing me. Exactly what we talked about, what she was wearing, where we were standing, etc. It progressed to saying that I was providing conflicting information on tiny details he deliberately misunderstood, and accusing me of withholding information because I couldn't tell him things like what pajamas she was wearing. This escalated quickly, but lasted for less than a week. As I lost my cool and made it clear that I was done answering questions, he didn't bring it up again, and I wrote it off as a grief quirk. His behavior was generally that of a normal grieving person. Last Friday, he outright accused me of murdering her in front of his parents out of the blue. We were all stunned. There was an inquest, which had recently concluded, and there was never any doubt that the verdict would be an accidental death. He said it was completely obvious. And he couldn't believe that no one else could see it. He claims I went through his phone and found his messages with Laura. I have absolutely no idea what these messages were about, and I've never looked at his phone. And I went over to confront her, and things got out of hand, and I pushed her down the stairs. By the end, he was shouting about going to the police and getting the inquest overturned, and how I wasn't going to get away with it. Let me be clear. Laura and I had a great relationship. We all did. And I have no idea where this came from, other than these messages I haven't seen, and even then, I don't think there's anything I ever could see on someone's phone that would drive me to murder. It's just ridiculous. He's been with his parents since this happened, and will not talk to me at all. I've had contact with his mom, and she's not being very communicative. Last I heard, she didn't know what the messages were referring to either. I'm completely stunned and have no idea how to proceed. I made a commitment to be there for him always, and I understand that grief can manifest in strange ways, but a part of me feels like my love for him has died, and the second he called me a murderer. And I don't know how we could possibly work through this. I also really don't want to be thought of in this way. I have no idea if he said anything to people that we know. I obviously haven't. A brain tumor or psychotic break has crossed my mind, and I suggested it to his mother. She said that she'll talk to him. Other than questions before, he hasn't been acting odd. Obviously, he's been grieving, and he seems sane and sensible other than this. I feel like I'm going mad. Does anyone have any advice at all?
Mm-hmm. And then it goes into a TLDR and an edit about like accidentally accidentally using the person's name in the story. Wow. I mean, I think the excuse of like a grieving person.
Okay, the questions I understand. The questions make sense. You're like, you're the last person who interacted with my sister who I love so much. Tell me about the interaction. I want to feel like I had more time with her, so I want to feel what this interaction was.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
And I also understand asking over and over and over again so that maybe you could extract some kind of meaning out of it, because clearly it was an unimportant thing. Yeah, that's the part that I understand.
One part that's sticking out to me is that he's like, oh, you looked at like our messages and found something and then confronted her.
What are you messaging about?
Exactly.
Are you messaging about how you're going to break up with her? Are you messaging about how... what are you messaging about?
Like he obviously...
what in his head would push to murder?
Yeah.
Like, are you doing incest with your sister? And like cheating? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's the only thing that I can think of that's like extreme enough. Or, I guess, like saying you're about to divorce her.
Yeah.
That's like, those are the two things in my head that I jump to that are extreme enough for this.
Yeah.
Obviously that's like fucking ridiculous.
Obviously, yeah, we don't know because she didn't look at those messages. She has no idea like what he's talking about and why he is so convinced that she looked at them and it was enough to drive her to go after the sister. Yeah. A
psychotic break makes an amount of sense.
And a brain tumor like affecting his mental also like that also makes sense.
Like a psychotic break, I do think you work. Like you can work through that. You can, while being a person who's extremely hurt in the moment, you can get this person help. And like obviously, I'm assuming that your husband would then apologize to you and you guys would move past it. It would probably be like a wound that hurts for a while. But it's fundamentally different than genuinely believing your partner is capable of murder and did murder to your sister.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't lost anyone like close to me in the same way that this husband did.
Yeah.
So I can't I don't want to come on here and say that it's not enough to be someone who's grieving to have these kinds of reactions. Because I do go by the sentiment of your emotions and feelings are always valid and fair, but the way you go about
it's not enough to expect it to all be okay.
Yeah,
I think is it for me, right? You can act however you want in grief, but you can't also then expect everybody to be totally chill with it.
Yeah,
simply
absolutely.
Because you were going through something. And I hold that opinion for everything, and I just think grief is included under that umbrella.
Yeah, absolutely. But in terms of advice, how does she salvage this? I mean, I guess I would say this needs a lot of time to think and settle, I guess. I mean, I personally don't think there's any working through this.
I think the working through it is assuming that something's seriously up, right?
Yeah.
That he is kind of he's lost his sister in a way that he wasn't expecting in some kind of freak accident, and now he's going crazy to some extent. You know what I mean? That's the working through this. If that's not exactly what's happening, look, everyone's life is different, but personally, stand up.
Yeah. We'll move on to what time are we at? 1:02.
We got time for one more.
Yeah, we got time for one more. Let's see what we can do. My boyfriend and I have never had sex. It's been almost 4 years.
Or we choose.
I choose.
You choose.
Okay. I choose. Let's do this one. Okay, this one has more upvotes.
Yeah, more karma, more better. That's what I've always said.
Okay. My boyfriend, 32 male, and I, 29 female, have never had sex. It's been almost 4 years. Yeah. You read that right. It's been 4 years and we have never had sex. It's not a religious thing. It's a physical thing. He refuses to see a doctor. He says he needs to start eating better and working out more.
Oh my God, his dick.
But never actually working out. Do you mean working out he's gonna jelk?
Doesn't work.
No, he needs to start eating better and work out more.
It does, because his dick doesn't work properly, maybe. Or
is that a thing? Where your dick doesn't work and then you go to the gym and then it starts working again?
Well, maybe if you're if you're really unhealthy, maybe.
Maybe. But never actually does. And every time we have the conversation, he reassures me it's not me and it's all him. Well, maybe that's true. At this point, it's hard to believe. Recently, I decided to look him up on TikTok, only to learn he follows a couple hundred half-naked women advertising for their OnlyFans. And that has me wondering...
Couple hundred?
Yeah, a couple hundred half-naked women advertising their OnlyFans.
Dear God.
And it has me wondering even more if he has an issue with porn, even though he denies it. It really bothers me that a guy can get off to random women on the internet, but is unable to do anything about his non-existent sex life with a woman who actually loves and cares about him. I feel like I'm begging at this point. I even, probably stupidly, thought I could deal with the lack of sex and marry him as long as he worked on it. But after seeing that, I'm not so sure anymore. Waking up now would feel like a huge waste of time. Has anyone ever had something similar happen to them? How did you feel about it? Sorry, this feels like an outro for a YouTube video. Yeah. Has anyone else ever similar happen? How did you deal with it? Breaking up over this somehow makes me feel both shallow and insecure. Honestly, I'm a little disgusted by him now, which is disheartening.
I mean,
clearly this guy is so addicted to porn that he just can't get it up with someone real anymore.
It seems like he just can't get it up, right? That's what's going on.
No, I mean, I think he can't. He's been so
a couple hundred is so many.
Yes.
That's so many. I don't even know if I have scrolled past a couple hundred OnlyFans models on TikTok. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They show up, but I don't think I've a couple hundred is so many.
I definitely never clicked on their profile and then the follow button.
Yeah.
200 over 200 times.
I think I might follow a couple hundred people on TikTok, and I've been on that app since 2020 or 2019, 5 years.
And never an OnlyFans model.
Yeah.
So I think what this
I don't think there's anything wrong with following OnlyFans models per se. I think it becomes wrong when
it's getting in the way of your relationship.
It's getting in the way of your real life relationship.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think this is just someone who's like, because this is, I mean, there have been studies about like people who take in a lot of porn and then they like get sexually attached to like the fake and they disregard the real because they think this is the ideal.
Yeah.
And so I think this is like exactly what's happening. What I would say is if you really want this relationship to work out, because I mean, there's a chance that she sees this that she's like, I don't want to be with a person who is like this type of person, which I personally like wouldn't disagree with that feeling, of course. Yeah. Or that action, I guess. But if she wants to make this work, she confronts this about him and like he quits like watching porn or OnlyFans. Because I mean, this is just on TikTok.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure that's like on maybe
other
Twitter
social medias. I'm sure his Reddit's crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's like personally, I've been in relationships where people like will pause a sex life for a while. Mm. And like that's fine, right? Because there's like clear communication about like what's going on.
Sure.
Right? And it's like, okay, yeah, something's up, like that's fine. Mm. It's not a big deal. What's like not fine is if you have one person who wants something and doesn't get an explanation as to why, especially 4 years in, as to why that thing is not happening.
It's not that she didn't get an explanation; it's that he lied about the explanation, or it seems like he lied. No,
it doesn't. He's not telling her anything. He's just like, I need to go to the gym and eat better. Mm. That's not like.
Well, I mean, what I'm getting from that is that he's excusing it as he has body image issues, and that's why he doesn't want to do it. But then he's saying like, I'm taking that him saying that he needs to start eating better and working out more is him not being happy with his body. And that's why.
But also him not doing anything is grounds for her to be upset.
Yes, I agree with that.
Because that's not him. Because that's really not an explanation after 4 years of not doing it.
I agree.
Because if he wanted to, he would, George. No, because if that was the actual reason and she kept asking, then she has grounds to be upset. Yeah. If that wasn't the actual reason, if that was the actual reason and then she didn't keep asking, then it's like different, right? Yeah. But it's like, in this scenario, that's wild.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Like, especially with like say the truth, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's like, if we're keeping this relationship advice thing going on, I would say if she wants to be in the relationship with him, to confront him about this and have him stop watching porn for ever.
Okay, here's what I would do if I were her.
Okay. Tea candles.
Well, I already used the tea candles trick.
Okay.
And I already used...
That's how you got her in the first place.
Yeah. I already used the flowers, invite them over trick as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm reaching out the bottom of my bags, but here's what I would do if I'm her.
Okay.
Pump his stomach.
Pump his stomach? Okay.
That way he has no option. Right?
But to start eating more and working out?
Or like, get rid of those body image issues. Like what Kanye did for the fans. Yeah. Remember?
Yes.
Remember when he got a stomach pump for the fans?
I heard about that, yeah.
And you guys made him do it. We made him do it.
Yeah, we made him pee on that Grammy too.
Yeah, God, we just made him do so many things.
Yeah.
And so like, cut the head off of the problem. Like a fish, right? Sure. You cut the head off and the whole system crumbles. Mm-hmm. Do the same thing.
What I would do is...
and then also, here's what else I would do. Okay? I go into his phone. Actually, the first step of this is I create many, many TikTok accounts, probably several hundred.
Yeah.
And I record a lot of porn and alluring videos, right? Yeah. I post them all. I wear a mask in most of them. All of them, actually. I wear a mask. And then I wait till he finds me. I know he's going to find me.
He'll find you eventually.
Yeah.
It seems like he's scouting.
And once it's clear that he's into masked girls, then he'll get suggested only the most popular masked girls who are all secretly me.
I see.
Do you see where I'm going?
I see where you're going.
Yeah. So then, one day, I pull out the mask. Every single mask. Hundreds of masks, George. All at once. He can't handle it.
And here's what you say. 2 steps ahead. 2 masks ahead.
I feel like I've been running the greatest social experiment of all time. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do, right? I mean,
that's
clearly the job here is to emotionally manipulate him to the point of breaking his world open.
I see.
And then I think once he sees all my masks, he'd get hard.
I see. Here's what I would do.
Fuck the shit out of him. Okay, yeah, keep going.
I, 29 female, my boyfriend, 32 male.
Yep.
I see all these TikTok accounts that he's following, and I'm like, oh, like, this is awful. This is horrendous. So I need to wind down.
Yep.
So I opened my YouTube. The Obligatory Podcast just uploaded an episode. So I'm going to go in, and I realized I'm not subscribed.
What?
So I go down.
Okay.
I subscribe.
Well, that's a good first step.
Turn that button from red
to gray. Okay. I like that so far.
Then I press like. Then I leave a comment sharing who had the better advice in this episode. Now, obviously, it's between Romantic Randy, which is Forrest.
Yeah. And Raunchy Ronald, which is George.
And I leave a comment down below which one who had the best advice. Then I'm like, wait, there's an entire Spotify account that I gotta go to. So I go over to the Spotify. I give us a 5-star rating. Give us a like.
Okay.
And then while I'm at it, I send it to my friends.
Oh.
Let them know the good word of being obligatory.
Yeah. And do you think that single act would fix all of your relationship problems in any scenario?
Even better, Forrest. I think it would solve every single problem that I have ever had in my entire life. Because those two guys are so charming and suave that they make all my issues just disappear.
Wow.
That's what I would. That's what I would do at least.
George, I don't even think I can add to that.
Yeah, I think all we have to do now is say bye-bye.